Hello, my friend, wherever you are. I'm sending you love, the power of positivity, and vitamin D, baby. So we're just like in the central of Cancun, but we are like at a roundabout. So I figure let's do a video. Why not? Welcome to the Gazillionaires Club, my friend. Stand by. So what's happening in Ukraine and Russia? You know, I saw a video of Jake Trend about how, like, you know, back then, like, you know, with the Russia, like, you know, install people in Ukraine. But like, I really don't want, I don't care much. You know, it's not that I don't care. I mean, like, I care, but like not to the point where it's like, it doesn't affect my life. And it's not selfish for me to say that. Even if I do, what can I do about it? But I understand that every country, almost every country, I can't say all country, that the way that we were conditioned, you know, our belief system, how the country was founded, and who our enemies are. Grab them by the pussy. Every country you go to, they, you know, they tend to have an enemy, and there's always justification, right? And in my opinion, that is false. And the reason why it's false, because when we look at government, when we look at politics, I mean, there is so much money to be made off of war, okay? And you know, war been going on for thousands of years, right? And you know, we gotta come to the point where, like, because people that are, for example, people in the US, like, you know, the reason why I don't talk much about China or Russia is because we have our own problems here in America. Now, whether the corruption is bought and sold by the Chinese, the Russian, I really don't care, because, you know, I don't care about a lot of things, but I pay attention just because it's right in front of my face. And, you know, when people start advocating, should the US get involved with Ukraine and Russia? Let me ask you, if Texas were to secede from the United States, I think that's the word, right? Not the other secede, but secede, like pulling out of the United States, separate from the United States, Florida and Texas, and you live in another country, would you want to get involved with you know, with the problem that's internal to the US? And I feel like, you know, whether we choose to blame Ukraine or Russia or how this war is gonna play out, that's between them. For example, I don't go into someone's family, someone's country, and start changing things, start advocating my belief on their people. No, I go in there with respect, and if they have their own problems, or they have problems, they should solve that on their own, okay? Con, you're so mean. And you know, when the reason why I talk a lot about the US, because I live in the US, what's happening with policies, politics, it is affect my life and the lives of the people around me. And you know, and at the end of the day, I voice my opinion. And this is the main takeaway. When there are problems, okay, it's easy to point finger at other people, at other families, and say, this is wrong, this is right. It's kind of, life is the same way. Like, even on an individual level, it's so much easy for us to point out the mistakes of others, but we can't see it within ourselves. And, you know, like, non-intervention, I think, is the way, because Dr. Ron Paul talked about this. I mean, you know, the US, we've been going around policing the world for the longest time. And, you know, even regime change, even assassination. And, you know, how can we have the right to say that other countries is doing the wrong thing when we have blood on our hands for at least, who knows, God, I know more than 50. You know, the United States was founded around 300 years, and we've been at war for roughly about 250 years. And I think that's ironic. And you know, and if you live in China, you live in Russia, the propaganda works the same way, you know, I mean, almost everywhere, okay? And for me, my friend, at this point, if you don't believe in freedom, individual sovereignty, and if you keep believing the mainstream media and what the governments are telling us, because for them it's like a game, okay? Because the wealthiest people, they really don't give a damn about nations. They own everything. If you travel the world, my friend, some of these corporations, they are global. They are not they are not like, you know, national. And you know, if you travel, you understand that all of these corporations, they own the world. You might think that, oh, your country, you speak different language, you have different culture, and it's yours, but that's not true. Wisdom. The richest people, they own the whole planet. And you know, it's unfortunate what's happening in Ukraine and Russia right now, but my friend, that's why, you know, not a financial advice, but you have to be able to access to your money. You have to be able to move freedom. You have to be able to express your rights, your natural birthrights, okay? They're not given to you. They are your natural birthright. And if you live in a country where you don't have that, then, you know, it's time to plan for the alternative. Now, I know that the majority, about 70% of the world are in poverty. And the thing is, you know, if you really, really want to search for freedom, to do what it takes, I mean, all of the stuff that I said on this channel, and even all the information that I provided from other channels, that should be enough for you to start. But the thing is, you know, like when I talk about Bitcoin, right? The most common question, well, the thing is, like, people don't want to understand it. People just want to get rich. People don't want to hold their key because they're afraid that they might lose that key. The thing is, you know, personal freedom comes with responsibility, okay? And if you can't take that little measure to be free, then there's a lot, you know, there's more to then you have. That's something that you got to work on. But if you are going out there and you advocating, oh, Russia is right, Russia is wrong, China is wrong, China is right, I really don't care where you stand, my friend. The thing is, we have a corrupt system, okay? Money or monetary system is corrupt. You know, when the US print money, it devalues the purchasing power of all nations around the world. And at this point, you know, what's happening with Canada, you know, with the COVID, with the war, think about it. One thing after another. And then we have all the evidence of people that are pushing for these kind of agendas. The thing is, one event after another, people tend to forget, okay? But until we hold people accountable for what they've done, then we're not gonna go anywhere. And they will keep on pushing for one event after another. Fear is the driving mechanism.
Run, bitch! Run! Run, bitch! Run!
And man, it's as of right now, you know, I'm traveling. It's like I don't want to pay attention, but it's like, you know, like some of the people that I follow, because they're you know, they want something for humanity. They want humanity to grow as a whole, okay? And right now, you know, instead of saying who's right and wrong, how about you vote with your action? How about you vote with your money? How about you vote with your feet? I mean, you know, I admire patriotism, and I think that, you know, all cultures should be preserved, should be shared, and we should learn from one another. We should never push our ideology on another group of people. But for some reason, we've been doing that ever since the beginning of time. You know, almost all countries want freedom, and they talk about freedom. Government love talking about freedom. Okay, every government. Some actually for it, and some is just masquerading freedom. I mean, think about it. Throughout human history, how many times have we fought for peace, right? And right now, my friend, all I can say is you got to trust yourself. You got to connect with the right kind of people. You got to take charge of your finance. You able to access your finance whenever you have it, whether that is $1, $1,000, or $100,000. Okay, because it's like, don't wait till you become like super rich and then start taking care of your finance, or learn what is money. You gotta, even if you have $1, you gotta learn how to secure that. How can I access to my dollar? How can I not depend on other people? And I think at this point, my friend, the only way out is not to get involved with what happened in Ukraine and Russia. It depends on where you are, but you focus on the place that you live. Because if there is corruption, we are just being led down the wrong way. And right now, if you still believe in the mainstream media and the stuff that they are putting in our head, how can we trust them? How can we trust anyone after COVID? Think about it. If you take COVID from 2.5 years ago, and the same people that are telling us the same thing with what's happening with Ukraine and Russia, who's right and who's wrong, why would you listen to those people, my friend? And that's why I travel. That's why I'm getting my second citizenship, because because I feel like when I live in the US, things are so divisive right now. And if our values doesn't align, then I move to a country where I can have my freedom, where my values are connect to the system, where people in government, where they see the same thing for their people. Penis. 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 That's the country that I want to live in. And it's not easy, but I put everything I have on the table for freedom. I vote with my money. So that's where I'm at right now, my friend. All I can say is understand. Once you understand money, who created money, who's in charge of money, then you understand how everything works around the world. And it's really unfortunate, but the law of attraction, right? The more we focus on, the more is expand. And if we keep talking about Ukraine and Russia, eventually it's gonna lead down that road. And I will leave with one quote from Albert Einstein on the internet. I don't know what weapon we will use to fight World War III, but I know with World War IV, we will be fighting with sticks and stones. You're a genius, Con. You're a genius. So much love, my friend. I will see you in the next video. Let me know your thoughts on this. Are you picking either or? Who's right, who's wrong? Are you focusing on what's going on with your country and what you can do on an individual level to elevate your life? What are you doing instead of, because, attention, hold on, energy, attention goes, energy flow, or the saying, right? So whatever we put our attention in, it will grow. And if you focus on something that you cannot control, because regardless who's right or who's wrong with Ukraine and Russia, the people on top, they are the one that's making decisions right now, right? And bank accounts are being frozen. People can't leave the country. You gotta find a way for yourself. Don't think that it cannot happen to your country. We've been to World War I, World War II, and it's just a continuation of what's going on. So my friend, all I can leave you is find peace within here. Once you recognize what is wrong with the system, you gotta take an extra step to change. Because when we grow up in a society, a culture, our mom and dad, they taught us what they know from the past generation, and we tend to have an ideology. But now it's more of, this is a global movement. This is global citizen. Put all countries aside. Human are part of humanity, okay? And that's what we're fighting for. You know, peace, prosperity, and dumb bitch, dumb bitch, dumb bitch, dumb bitch. Justice, which is law and order, and we can only do that, you know, as of right now. Take personal, you know, you got to transition, take personal action towards yourself to make the change that you want to see in the world. Okay, my friend? So much love. Hashtag Gazillionaires Club, and let's get into the conversation. So, ta-da.